Chicago Bulls, frankly, get their butts kicked against the Utah Jazz. They get caught being flat-footed and slow and old and a bunch of other things. But luckily, I'm joined by Quinton today to talk about it and break down everything that went on in this sad Chicago Bulls game. We're going to get into all and more on today's Locked On Bulls.
You are Locked On Bulls, your daily Chicago Bulls podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Thank you for tuning in to Locked On Bulls, member of the Locked On Podcast Network, where it's your team every single day. I'm Haize, host and creator of Chicago Bulls Central, Chicago Bears Central YouTube pages and podcasts, and I'm joined today by the host of Let's Talk Bulls. Quinton is in the building. I'm glad that you're here, because if I had to talk about this game a second time by myself, I'm sure Petty Roosevelt would have come out. I'm trying to avoid that as much as possible, especially when you have people saying that Ben Simmons is Bill Russell. But all that aside, Quinton, man, how you feeling about the result of today's game? The Chicago Bulls losing to the Utah Jazz, down by double-digit points. Another game in which they get out to an early deficit. They played pretty good in the second half of this game, but still end up losing by 9 points. How you feeling?
I feel like I always feel. The Bulls just, it's what you expect. The moment you hear the Jazz haven't won a game, it's like, oh, well, we'll be the ones. It's somebody on their team's going to go off, and it's going to be somebody that shouldn't, and we're going to lose. And it's exactly what happened. I mean, it's sad. It's one of these things where the Bulls keep showing you in the second half of games how good they can be.
Mm-hmm.
And it's constantly, if you would have just done this at the beginning of the game, we wouldn't have issues. And I don't know if it's just a coaching thing. I don't know if the Bulls, my secret conspiracy theory is that their players are doing it to get Billy fired, and they're doing it on purpose. They're walking off like DJ Moore. They don't want it. This is where I'm at this point. But yeah, I mean, it was a game where the Bulls they played a young team that was hungry. They wanted it more. They wanted to win. And I mean, honestly, Keontae George I got to see him shoot at the All-Star weekend, just because of my job and everything. But like, the man can shoot, and he showed it today, of course, against us because, well, it's the Bulls.
Keontae George scored 33 points in this game. He only made 8 field goals, 6 of those being three-pointers, and he went 11 of 13 from the free throw line today. 9 assists, 33 points. He killed it today. Another one, John Collins coming off the bench. John Collins' energy, it was almost like young John Collins in Atlanta. Again, it's been a while since we've seen that version of John Collins, but he just understood that nobody on the Bulls really could match his size and energy combination, and nobody did. And he got 28 points because of it.
Yeah, he also kind of hates us. I mean, ever since the whole choking our coach, ever since Io celebrating on, like, every time he plays the Bulls, it's like Lori and him are gonna go off whenever they come to play us. It's gonna be an issue. I mean, I'm surprised there wasn't a fight this game. I was expecting it.
Dalen, shout out to Dalen Terry, man. He did not back down from John Collins, who outweighs him by like 50 pounds, by the way, which is
he
crazy.
Probably should have. He probably would have. He would have lost that real quick.
It's funny that you say that, because like that's still one of like my funniest moments. I was like, yeah, and we're celebrating on the carcass of John Collins, and clearly he did not like that. So it is what it is there, man. In this game, though, the Chicago Bulls, Ayo Dosunmu with his best offensive game of the season so far, 9 of 13. We're going to talk about him a little bit later on. I want to ask, because Ayo Dosunmu starting to come out of his slump. 25 points in the starting lineup, starting in place of Zach LaVine. Kobe had 28 points after a slow kind of first quarter and a half for Kobe White. He comes on. He gets 28 points, 6 assists, 4 rebounds as well. Vooch just keeps being extremely consistent. And we got a Patrick Williams side in today. 13 points from Patrick Williams, going 5 of 11 from the field. When you look at how this team performed today without Zach LaVine, what was the biggest thing that you think that Zach could have added to this? And then who do you think how do you feel about how the other players stood up? Or stood up is the word that I'm looking for, into the role that was left by Zach LaVine, the void that was left by Zach LaVine.
I mean, obviously they're missing scoring. I mean, Zach on this team, if he plays tonight, if he's being the type of Zach we've seen this year where he's consistent, playing in the flow of the offense, we probably win this game, right? He probably has at least 25, 30 points easy. Get some rebounds, because we've been seeing him get rebounds this year, which is good. I mean, honestly, Ayo stepped up. Patrick clearly stepped up. they did some things that honestly kind of pissed me off because they only did it because Zach's not playing. Like Io did it behind the back, through the legs.
Man.
Like Patrick Williams over here doing reverse like layup. Like, come on now. This has been in the bag this whole time. Y'all gonna wait to the one game like that. If you do this while Zach's on the floor, this team's different. Do those things every game because you have it in your bag. So just keep using it. I think the Bulls stepped up. I mean, everyone on the starting lineup, they all got over 10 points. Like that's what you want from your starters. Horton Tucker came in. He did his thing. As much as I don't want him over Modest, he's kind of making it hard not to play him.
Yeah,
doing what he's supposed to do. The team did what they're supposed to do. The issue is the start of the game. If they would have just came out and started the game like that, and they would have played this way, you're talking. Io probably has 35, right?
Yeah,
20, and the team's definitely ahead. Like it's one of those things where I think Billy really needs to start games and go, we're down by 30. We're down by 30. Go out there, get us the lead. Like this is how you have to talk to your team because that's the only way they actually play. And it happens throughout the game. They'll be down 15. They'll fight their way back. They'll be down 2. And then they'll stop playing until they go by 10 again. And then they magically start knowing how to play. The end of the game, what happened? They started learning how to shoot. It's something about being down where this team they get a trigger.
Yeah, I mean, we started off the training camp with the 14-second shot clock. So you're saying we also need to be a negative on the scoreboard as well, so they can just learn to just play like they're always down. I mean, listen, you got to do what you got to do for this team because this team is a ball of psychosis, man. It just really does not make any sense to this team. On the teams that they beat, we turn around and have back-to-back losses against the Brooklyn Nets and the Utah Jazz, who were winless. We got Dallas and Minnesota up next. So, if the Bulls keep this trend going, maybe we get a win against one of those teams, maybe even both of them, and they just continue to confuse us even more. Like that's just what what it is at this point. The Bulls just live to confuse us. It is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, it's just one of those things where they like making us look bad.
Yeah. Quinton says, hopefully this is the loss that gets Billy Donovan fired. You have way too much faith, my friend.
He know all the bodies. He ain't going nowhere.
Yeah. I said it when it happened. At this point, it was 2-3 years ago when Billy Donovan was asked about his relationship with ownership, and he said, I talk to Jerry Reinsdorf every day. I literally said there, I looked at the camera and said, he's never leaving. He's never, even if he stops being the head coach, he's going to move over to the front office or a special advice. Do y'all realize John Paxson is still employed by this team? He's still collecting he still has a role. He's on the team executive list. He's a special advisor to Arturas Karnisovas. Billy Donovan is the next person to have. He's never leaving.
I truly feel like the Bulls will give him AK spot before they fire him.
Exactly.
They will fire AK and be like, Billy, we want you to run the team. That's there's something there.
Yeah, or Mark Eversley's spot if Mark Eversley goes and takes another role. Like Billy Donovan is going to be part of this franchise for a long, long time. I have zero doubts about it. And people like Quinton, who has valid concerns, are just going to be stressed the hell out because you're going to be seeing Billy Donovan's face associated with the Chicago Bulls for a long time.
And when he's gone, his son will become the coach. It'll be a family affair. Javon Carter will be the assistant coach, and we will all
Quinton. See, now you're sending this too far down the bad path, bro. Like you talk about Javon Carter being a coach on this team. God, please no. Bro.
I trust nothing about this team other than those things. This is the team we have.
It's so accurate. It's sad. It's really one thing before we go now. With Modest Bucilis being sent to the G League, recalled, his injuries being announced, I think a lot of people thought that, hey, well, maybe they recalled Modest so he can get some minutes. Less minutes today. Less than 5 minutes from Modest Bucilis today. How you feeling about that?
I mean, it's something where I want him to earn minutes. I understand he has to earn minutes. But when he's out there, the Bulls don't play him to his strengths. So he can't show you that he should have more minutes. This is the issue with the Bulls. Like they kind of did it with Dalen when he started. He kind of made his way, and maybe Modest isn't being aggressive enough. But this is one of those things where we know we have a power forward who can dribble, he can pass, he can make smart decisions. We're going to give you 3 minutes. And we want you to stand in the corner and shoot.
Yeah. Yeah, and the thing is, and you say like they don't do any. Modest is just out there, and that is why like I was one of the people who was like I can understand him going to the G League because at least they're going to run things for him. He's going to get up as many shots as he needs to. Because right now, yeah, it's great that you're playing him more so than just letting him ride at the back end of the bench. But what you have him doing isn't really much better. You're not running any plays for him, and not to say that you should run a bunch for a rookie, but like you're not even putting him in any actions that make sense for his skill set. So at this point, like just send him to the G League, let him work on his game, and maybe he can open some eyes when he's out there dunking on everybody's head in the G League at this point. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, and I will say, just so people understand, because I know that we know basketball and a lot of people don't. Just because we're saying Modest isn't ready doesn't mean he sucks. That's exactly saying that. You can't expect a rookie to be good right out the gate. He's not Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan wasn't good out the gate. Like this is understand how basketball works. You have to develop. You have to work. You can say the team's not helping, but if you think that he just sucks in 3 minutes of playing, I mean, I don't know what to expect.
Yeah, for sure. All right, we're going to talk about what the Bulls team may still be missing after now we have kind of a larger sample size. Before we get into that, I got a message from a couple of our sponsors, and the first one is Bilt. Listen up, renters. Ever feel like you're stuck in this loop of rent payments, just watching your money vanish into thin air? It's time to turn the rent game around and start earning some serious rewards. That's where Bilt Rewards comes in. Okay, real talk. We've all been there, feeling like we're burning cash with those rent checks. It's frustrating, right? But here's the deal. Bilt Rewards has figured out a way to make rent more rewarding. Say goodbye to the money bonfire and hello to renters revolution with Bilt. Bilt is a breaking ground as a neighborhood rewards program that hooks you up with points on your rent. Every month, pay your rent and watch Bilt points roll in. Use points to jet off on a dream vacation. Put your points towards a flight or hotel stay with 500 plus airlines and 700,000 plus hotels and properties. You can also use your points to book fitness studio classes, redeem them towards a future rent payment. They're designed to meet your lifestyle. Pay rent hassle-free through Bilt's Reward app. Your rent game just got a major upgrade. Bilt Points has been consistently ranked the highest value point currency by the Points Guy and Bankrate. Earn points by paying rent now when you go to joinbilt.com/lockedonnba. That's joinbilt, joinbilt.com/lockedonnba. Make sure to use our URL so that they know that we sent you. Join built.com/lockedonnba to start earning points with your rent payments today. Also got to talk to you guys about Gametime. Gametime has been trying to help you guys all season long. If you want tickets for live events, NHL's going on, NBA's going on, NFL's going on. Plus, they also get you tickets on comedy, theater, everything. Gametime Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. Plus, if you toggle on the all-in pricing, this feature shows you the total upfront with no surprise fees at checkout. Plus, you can get a panoramic view of your seat from the seat before you even buy. And with the Gametime, your Gametime will credit you 110% of the difference if you find seats in the same section for less. Your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Gametime Picks. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code that's LOCKEDONNBA, LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off. Download Gametime today. What time is it? It's game time. All right, Quinton. After now seeing this team, we're now back below one game below 500 again, by the way, which everybody celebrated bringing one game above 500. We all should have waited to at least 3 games above 500 before any more celebration. Thank you. What do you think this Bulls team so far in this early part of the season? What are they missing most? Do you think it's coaching? Do you think it's something that we are going to have to go out and make an acquisition? Do you think we have what we need on this roster? It's just the balance and kind of the rhythm that has to come along. What do you think this Bulls team's missing as of right now?
Well, obviously coaching, right? Coaching's the obvious first thing, but that's not going to change. So there's really no point in talking about it because we're not going to change our coach. But big thing for me personally, I talked about this with some people the other day. I think the Bulls are missing a bona fide knockdown shooter. Like, and I'm not saying you got to preference everything. I'm not saying to get the player specifically. We'll just preface it there. but like a Klay Thompson type shooter. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
somebody who can come off a screen. You know, if you leave them for any reason, they will hit. Right? That's what the Bulls need. Zach can be that, but he doesn't want to. So you're not going to get it from him. The Bulls need a player that they can absolutely stick in the corner and somebody who's happy to sit there and not move. Because if you get that, that opens up the lane for Zach. It opens it up for Kobe. Vooch has way more room in the post now. And you don't have to worry as much about off-ball movement because you have somebody who's so deadly that no one will leave him. You see it with the Heat. When Duncan Robinson's in the corner, you're not moving off Duncan Robinson. And if you do, you're giving up 3 points. Like, we need someone who can knock down a shot. And also we need someone to take that role Alex Caruso had, whether that's Io stepping up and becoming that person, or we go out and get it. We need someone to be a defensive leader. Maybe not multiple defensive stoppers, but you need someone who can keep this team in check and make them talk, because the Bulls, we have shown they can move. They can cover for each other. The issue is they don't talk. So you don't know who you're covering for. And then everyone gets bottled up and now you're screwed. So you need someone to make them talk. You need someone to tell them what they're doing wrong. Someone to be a leader on this team who's not afraid. Honestly, someone with a Jimmy Butler type of personality. I want you to look at somebody and be like, yo, get your ass up and do what you're supposed to do. This isn't what we're trying to do here. We want to be winners. The Bulls don't have that. They have a bunch of players who want to play the game and hope that they get better. And no one's really aggressive. No one gets pissed off when they lose and cusses people out. It's just a team of people who are okay being mediocre.
Yeah, and that communicator on that defensive side of the ball is so important, right? And we had Caruso, we had Lonzo when he was healthy. Like, you need that aspect of it. And it's not necessarily just to, like, because everybody's stupid out there, but like having somebody to say over, under, on the screen or whatever else to hedge, whatever it is, like it just helps everybody be on that same page, and you need that person out there. And I think that's for any good team. Every good team has a communicator on the defensive side of the ball. You have that guy. The Bulls don't have it. And while Io is a dog defensively, and I do think that Io has grown into a bit of a leadership role, he's not that communicator when the Bulls are out there on defense. He more so is I'm a pit bull. I'm going to go out there and try to shut somebody down. But we need more than that. As far as the shooting aspect, I could definitely see where shooting could help a lot with this team. But I also think if that shooter can also be somebody who openly does slash when we need to, because Patrick Williams doesn't do it consistently. He is doing it more this season than we've seen before. I think Julian Phillips can turn into that guy. But then again, like his role is so specialized when he's out there that we haven't seen that yet. So we'll see what the Bulls do. But then again, those are the type of moves that teams do that are committed to winning. We still don't know what this team is going to be doing over the course of the season. Right now, we're back one game below 500. Let me ask you this, Quinton. Do you think, are the Bulls going to be more so competing for a play-in towards the end of the season, or are we going to be more so focused on lottery position towards the end of the season? As of right now, and it can ebb and flow as the season goes. Where do you stand right now?
Right now, they're lucky if they make the lottery. I'm gonna be 100% real with you. The way I've seen the Bulls play, their offense is amazing. It can be outstanding. But they don't know how to do it for 4 quarters. Right? So you go up against teams, because right now they're winning some games against some teams they probably shouldn't beat. But this is the beginning of the year. Those teams are also making mistakes that they're not going to make in 3 or 4 weeks. And what's going to happen is teams are going to start to learn what the Bulls are doing. They're going to start to shut them down. And we all know Billy does not know how to make adjustments. So once they know who's going to be the shooters on this team, because right now, if we're being real, what's happening is teams are leaving Giddey open because they think he's not going to hit. They leaving, Phillips open because they think he's not going to hit. The Bulls start hitting and people know it. They're going to shut you down at the 3-point line. And now you're just going to be one of those teams that no one moves, nobody's open. And we've seen it in stretches. When people cut the Bulls out and they stop them from shooting, we crumble. So if that happens, I can see this team becoming very, very bad, very, very quickly. And we all know how they are with Zach and Kobe. Yeah. They will start to give up. And this whole team will crumple. Like, they'll forget how to play basketball. They'll stop trying, and it'll just shut down from there.
And to your point, like, the Bulls are giving up 58 points in the paint per game. That's unacceptable. Like, I get it. Like, we've traded what we used to do as far as giving up a bunch of threes and having that discrepancy in 3-point shooting with point, just giving up the middle at this point. And the Bulls got to figure that out, because I tell you what, that's such an efficient shot. that if you keep allowing teams to do that, like for example, the Utah Jazz, they scored over 130 points. They were averaging 98 points. Almost 60 of those points came from inside the paint. 60 exactly. I'm sorry, 60 points came from inside the paint. You got to be better than that in every aspect. You cannot keep doing that. And I don't know if the Bulls really have the personnel to stop the bleeding in the paint quite yet. And if that starts exposing you, and then you have to start collapsing to kind of guard the paint more, then you're going to get back to opening up the three more, and then you're going to start back giving wide open threes like you have been the last 3 years. So I know that I learned this my first year in doing this podcast, because back when we were on the 9-game winning streak with Lonzo, and I was like, listen, the Bulls keep playing this way, they're not going to win a lot of basketball games. I'm telling y'all right now, we saw some great offense, and the Bulls do have a potential of a great offense when everybody's healthy and the ball's moving around, but that defense has the chance to completely torpedo anything positive we're doing offensively. Got to figure it out.
Yeah, so much to do on this team. There's so many people who need to be changed. Like, I'm one of the people, like, I'm okay with getting rid of Patrick Williams at this point.
Yeah, I'm starting to get to that point as well. Not to say that Patrick Williams, like, I'm still not saying that Patrick Williams still can't be a solid NBA player for a career, but at this point, it's like, all right, cool, but, like, you can find 10 points almost anywhere else.
Yeah, you can find a Keontae George for way cheaper than Patrick Williams in the draft.
Yeah.
Like, we've seen it countless. Like, the rookies coming in this year are more aggressive than Patrick Williams.
Mm-hmm.
And every year we keep saying it's just aggression. It's not gonna change. He's not gonna be, like, we see it. He's just not that person. Like, he will be aggressive one or two plays, but he's not the type of, I'm getting down, give me the ball, I'm taking the shot. He doesn't do it. And he's not gonna change. Never, so I mean, you either got to make him a bench player. And if the Bulls decide he's going to be on the bench, and you just, hey, I gave you a lot of money to be a bench player, cool. But you just can't have him keep being your starter. You got to find somebody to replace him in that starting lineup, whether it's in the draft or free agency. But
here's the question I'm going to throw to you. This is just a funny one. Who would you rather have on this Bulls team right now, Patrick Williams or Tobias Harris?
Tobias Harris.
And that says all that.
That's not even a thought. Tobias Harris.
That's. And with that said, we're going to get into our next break. We're going to get into a message from FanDuel. And after coming out of this break, we're going to talk about Io potentially coming out of his slump. Get ready to tackle the NFL action with FanDuel, America's #1 sports book, because right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if you win. The FanDuel Sportsbook app gives you everything you need to place live bets on the NFL all in one place. So when you get a hunch in the middle of a game, you can check out the latest stats, view live play-by-play, and so much more on the same page where you place your bets. FanDuel is giving y'all a leg up. Because with other betting sites, you got to go get your information from this place, that place, this place, before you can place an informed bet. FanDuel is giving you all the tools you need to place an informed bet right there on the same page where you place your bet. Just visit FanDuel.com to join today. You'll get started with $150 in bonus bets if you win your first $5 bet. That's FanDuel.com. Never waste a hunch and make every moment more with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NFL. And with that said, I got to get into a message from another one of our sponsors. And this one is from Haize. Guys, sometimes intimate moments happen spontaneously, and we always want to be ready so we can perform in the bedroom. Haize provides you access to treatments that can help you stay hard and last longer, giving you that boost of confidence so you can be ready whenever the mood strikes. Your sex life is important, but your schedule is busy. You don't have to have the time to go to the doctor's office to get treated for ED. Through Haize, you can get a personalized ED treatment without stepping foot outside of your door. Guys, you ever feel like you need a little boost in the bedroom? It's time to stop worrying about your performance and get Haize. Haize is changing men's healthcare by providing you access with affordable sexual health treatments from the comfort of your couch. Haize provides you access to a range of doctor-trusted ED treatments like chewable hard mints and Viagra and Cialis and their generics for up to 95% cheaper. The process is 100% online, so there's no need for uncomfortable doctor visits. Just answer a series of questions on their site, and a medical provider will determine the right treatment option. If prescribed, your medication ships directly to you in discreet packaging for free. No insurance needed, and one low price covers everything from treatments to ongoing care. Start your free online visit at hims.com/lockedon. That's HIMS.com/lockedon for your personalized ED treatment options. hims.com/lockedon. You know, it takes a lot for me to be uncomfortable. It takes a lot for me to be uncomfortable. But, you know, it is what it is.
You got to get those Hims.
Yeah, it's Hims. It's Hims, bro. And talking about getting comfortable, though, Ayo Dosunmu had his best offensive game of the season today. And the question is that I want to have for you, Quinton, before we get out of here. Are we starting to see Ayo Dosunmu coming out of his offensive line? I always like to be clear here, right? Because Ayo's been defensively good all season long. But he definitely started off with the offensive slump. Do you think he's coming out of it?
Yeah. I think Ayo's definitely coming out of his slump. I think a part of that is, and we saw it this game, he's not forcing three-point shots. This team is trying to shoot more threes, and Ayo's understanding that his is not working. So he's driving. He's become the person on this team that attacks on the fast break, that attacks in half court. When he gets the ball, he could have a chance at a shot. He'll pump fake and he'll drive to get other people open shots. And you need that person on your team. Sometimes you have a player who's just not the best shooter. And that's right now Ayo. And as long as he understands that and he keeps attacking the rim, he's one of the best finishers on this team.
Yeah.
Be aggressive, be confident in yourself, and go get it. And also, if that means I get more behind the back between the leg movements, I need you to keep doing that, because that's what's going to get the team off of the three-point line. They have to understand that, yes, you guys might shoot a three, but you also might drive. Now, I think as the year goes on, he'll probably shoot better from the three-point line, but I definitely think this is him showing he can definitely shoot. He started out needing some Hims at the start of the season. He was little, he wasn't 100%
You need to pick me up?
He needed to pick me up, and now it looks like he got his shipment in, and he's been going and attacking. He's been in attack mode. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's important too that Ayo is getting to the rim more and finishing at the rim. That's how you can kind of get in rhythm, and let the three ball come to you at some point. Like he was in a great rhythm last year as the season went on. I think he can rediscover that again. But do what your strengths are. Get to the rim, get out in transition. He's a really good passer in transition as well. And so as Ayo just continues to get to the place that we need him to get to offensively, he's going to be fine. I think he's going to be fine he's in a different role as well than he was in last season. I think as he adapts to that, and maybe even adapts to not playing as much with Kobe, because I think they do have such a good synergy. Playing with Josh Giddey, playing with Lonzo was a very different proposition than playing with Kobe White. I think those are a little bit of things as well that Ayo's been adjusting to. But I wasn't worried about Ayo even during that time. I think he's going to be fine. It's 7 games into the season. We still got over 70 games left to be played. We'll be all right.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen Ayo, Kobe. They've shown they're gonna do their thing. They're gonna be up, they're gonna be down, but they're gonna be solid. So you don't have to worry too much about Ayo. It's just gonna be coming down to him understanding his game and going with same thing with Zach, playing within the flow of the offense, getting your shot when you can, and just trusting that it will go down. If he can do that, I mean, he's a starting talent. He's just on the bench, so he just got to do his thing.
For sure, man. When you're looking at this team, before we get up out of here, what's been the biggest surprise for you so far this season?
Josh Giddey, honestly. Like, I knew Josh was good, but some of the passes I've seen him, because in my mind, Josh was a passing first point guard. I understood that, but watching him make some of the passes he makes for your team when you watch him consistently, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, there's some times when he throws passes, I'm like, how did you even think to try that? Like, you're running out of bounds. You're like, yeah, I know where they're at. We're good. And also his attacking the rim. Like, he is very good at getting to the rim. And I did not know that. I didn't watch enough Josh Giddey apparently, but like he giddy up. He will get up, get to the rim, do what he needs to do. Yeah, but I mean, he's been playing amazing. It's just good to see somebody on the Bulls have a point guard mentality other than Lonzo. And to have that 1-2 punches, it's been a nice little addition.
And the thing, especially with Giddey, is that because he's not overly fast, he's not super strong, but like he just goes about his business on the court and just gets it done. He always finds a way to get it done. And to your point, the difficult passes, like there are times where Josh Giddey, I see somebody cutting him, like, damn, Josh was probably not going to see him, and he sees him every single time. His court vision is next level. So Josh Giddey's really been a pleasant surprise this season. But for me, it's been Vooch. The efficiency Vooch has been playing with has been crazy to watch, bro. Like, Vooch got his bounce back. I don't know what this means for his future or whatever else, but I just know right now I'm appreciating because Vooch he's been getting hit by Bulls fans for the majority of the time that he's been here. He's been kind of blamed for the Bulls' struggles at times when it was unjust. But like, I'm just glad to see Vooch having this bounce back year because I tell you what, at media day, I was like, oh, Vooch doesn't care no more. But as soon as the season started, no, Vooch cares and he's playing really good.
I think the only reason I wasn't surprised by Vooch is I knew he could do it. My issue with Vooch has been he settles for threes because no one passes him the ball.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's understandable. Like we've seen games where Vooch is like in the post with Chris Paul on him, and the team's like, "No, we're gonna shoot a three." And like you do that enough, yeah. As a big man, you're probably like, "Screw this team. I'm not trying no more." If y'all don't want to, like, if I got a point guard on me, and you don't want to pass me the ball, then what are we doing here? So I think the team is actively looking for him now, especially without DeMar. Vooch kind of becomes that, oh crap, we need someone to take a shot. And you saw it this game. Like there was times where they would put themselves in bad positions and just give him the ball and hope it goes in. He's become that outlet. And I think he's taking it really well. He's been doing a lot of good things. I do want another Vooch dunk. I need to see a poster dunk.
The thrust afterwards.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because now we have a gift for it.
Yes, we do. I haven't been able to use it yet.
We have a gift for it now. Like we got to use it. But yeah, Vooch has been a really good play this year. I think Giddey's also helping him out. It's one of those things where they have so many shining points, but we still suck. It's crazy that we said we wanted to be bad, but exciting. So I guess
we'll see where the season takes us, man. Overall, Quinton, any parting words before we get up out of here, brother?
As usual, thank you for having me on. If y'all do not know who I am, or as half of you called me last time, the Timu Pat, but we all love Timu, so I take that. Pat's successful as shit, so hey. But yeah, check me out. Let's Talk Bulls. One of your best Chicago podcasts in there. As you will probably see if you go check it out. We be doing videos. We're building a family up there. We're trying to get ourselves to 500 subscribers. We're almost there. And we're going to have a little clothing drop for y'all when we do. But as usual, thank you for having me on. Thank you for showing me the Bulls family because I like to talk Bulls and have fun with it and have therapy sessions.
That's a fact. Y'all make sure to go and support Quinton over at Let's Talk Bulls. You guys can follow me at CEO Haize. You can follow the channel at Locked On Bulls. And oh, by the way, your favorite Bulls podcast, Locked On Bulls, now has a daily newsletter written by me. So make sure you guys go to lockedondaily.com to get your daily Chicago Bulls newsletter in your inbox every morning and get your morning hit with Locked On Bulls. But that's my time for today, guys. We will see you lovely and beautiful people tomorrow, or I should say Wednesday, because technically this is Tuesday's episode. Love you guys. Go Bulls. Peace, y'all.